Welcome back, dear students, to the tutorial about the chemical applications of group theory. And we are moving to the last unit of this topic, molecular orbital theory, application of group theory in molecular orbital theory. Okay, listen. Okay, before going to the details about molecular orbital theory, first, we are going to discuss about the symmetry adapted linear combinations. In MO theory and in the construction of hybrid orbitals, and also in the case of vibrational modes, there is a common problem. That is, we have to construct a linear combination of orthonormal wave functions or atomic orbitals, which forms the basis for the irreducible representation of the symmetry group of the molecule. Okay, that is in molecular orbital theory and hybridization. And we have to construct an orthonormal, a linear combination of orthonormal wave function. And that is adapted to the symmetry characteristics of the molecule. And these kinds of functions we needed is called a symmetry adapted linear combination. Okay, and this is in short written as SALCs, SALCs or SALCs, symmetry adapted linear combination. It's very important when we are discussing about the molecular orbital theory and hybridization like that. The fundamental and universally accepted tool for constructing SALCs is the projection operator. We can directly determine by directly from the character table we can determine the symmetry adapted linear combination. There are different methods, but this is a very direct method to determine the symmetry adapted linear combination is by projection operator. This is very important. SALCs, symmetry adapted linear combinations, can be easily find out using projection operator. Actually, it is a special type of operator which projects out that part of the function having the symmetry of the species using which the operation is set up. Okay, that is projection operator. What did a projection operator do? The projection operator projects. Okay, it projects the part of the wave function that is same as that of the symmetry species in which the operation is we are doing. Okay, you will understand this thing more later. Okay, that is, it is a mathematical tool. Projection operator is a mathematical tool. Okay, and using this tool we are arbitrarily constructing a wave function and pass through this a machine, or it is a mathematical tool or is a machine like that, and passing this function into this machine, and we get a result that the wave function that is adapted to the symmetry species in which we are considering. Okay, that is, it is a special type of operator which projects out the part of the wave function having the symmetry of the species using which the operation is set up. Okay, I know you may not understand fully, but you can understand later by discussing all these things. Okay, this is the projection operator, that is P cap I is equal to Li divided by H sigma R chi I R cap. Okay, PII is the projection operator using the ith symmetry. Okay, I is the symmetry species of an IR. Okay, projection operator having the symmetry I. Li is the dimension of the representation, we know. H is the order. Chi I R is the character of each operation R in the ith irreducible representation. Chi I R is the character of each operations R in the ith irreducible representation. R cap is the operator, or it is the symmetry operation. Okay. Okay, derivation of projection operator. We are going to derive projection operator, and it is using our great orthogonality theorem. Using orthogonality theorem, we can derive our projection operator. Okay, consider a set of functions that belongs to an L-dimensional irreducible representation, L-dimensional IR. Okay, that is let phi 1i, phi 2i, etc., phi ti, etc., phi li jointly forms the basis for an ith irreducible representation. That is gamma I is equal to phi 1i, phi 2i, etc., phi ti, etc., phi li. Okay, they jointly form the basis for an ith irreducible representation. Okay, and we are going to perform a symmetry operation on any one of these function. That is R phi ti. R is a symmetry operation of this group, any one of the operator of this group, and acting on a function, any one of the function phi ti. Suppose the representation is one dimensional, R phi ti, if representation is one dimensional, we get plus or minus 1 phi ti. Okay, but if it is an L-dimensional representation, so generally we can write like this: sigma s into phi s into gamma r sti. Gamma r sti is the coefficient. That is here plus or minus 1 is the coefficient. 1 is the coefficient. Okay, here we are in this general representation, we are writing the representation second and function first. Okay, generally, usually we are doing coefficient first and function second. Okay, that is, for example, suppose we are doing a C3 operation on the function x. Okay, then what will be the result? Okay, it is equal to minus 1 by 2 x plus minus 3 by 2 y plus minus 3 by 2 x plus minus 1 by 2 y. Okay, this is our representation. We got this in the earlier discussion. Okay, and this can be written in general form like this: sigma s. S is any arbitrary number. Phi s I gamma r sti. That is a result of the operation R on a function, general result. Okay, that is, we are getting a function, a linear combination of function. It is actually a linear combination of function like this: minus 1 by 2x plus minus 3 by 2y, like that. This is in the case of C3 operation on the x. Similarly, for a general function, we get a linear combination of functions, and we are writing the coefficient. Actually, coefficient is the character of the representation. So we are writing the character second and function first. Usually we are doing the opposite way, but here we are written like this. Okay, I think you understand this. And then multiply both side by gamma r s dash t dash j star. Gamma r s dash t dash is a character of an operator. Okay, at the s dash column and t dash row in the jth representation, and we are taking its complex conjugate. Okay, actually we are doing this to convert into in the form of our great orthogonality theorem. Okay, and summed over all the operation. Okay, that is, we are summing this sigma. So multiplying sigma gamma r s dash t dash j star on both sides, then we get sigma gamma r s dash t dash j star. Then here this term is here r cap phi ti, r cap phi ti. Then in the other side we get sigma r, and sigma s is already here, phi s I gamma r s t I, this is here, and multiplying this with the gamma r s dash t dash j star. Okay, And we know that phi si is a function independent of r. So we can write this outside. So this term, that is sigma gamma r s dash t dash j star r cap phi ti is equal to sigma s phi si we are taking separately, then sigma r gamma r s t I gamma r s dash t dash j star. Actually this is from the great orthogonality theorem. This is the left side of our great orthogonality theorem. According to great orthogonality theorem, we can write this term, that is gamma sigma r, here actually sigma r is here, gamma r s t I gamma r s dash t dash j star is equal to, we already studied great orthogonality theorem, this is equal to h divided by root of li lj del ij del t dash del ss dash. Okay, that is, we can write from this equation. This equation we can write sigma gamma r s dash t dash star r cap phi ti is equal to, this term is here, that is sigma phi si, and for this one we can write this term here. Okay, so we get h divided by root of li lj del ij del t star del ss dash. Then put I is equal to j and t is equal to t dash and s is equal to s dash. Then this term become li is equal to lj, then root of lj square, and that is equal to lj, and this become 1, this is also equal to 1, this is also equal to 1. For left hand side, right hand side becomes phi s j, it become I become j because we are considering I is equal to j, then phi s j, h divided by root of li lj become lj square, that is equal to lj, h divided by lj, and right side this one. Okay, and taking this h by lj this side, we get h by lj taking this side, we get li divided by h into sigma r s dash t dash j star r cap, and this up to this term is an operator, and this is called the projection operator, and denoted as p cap s dash t dash j. And okay, there is this term, that is sigma r, actually sigma r is here, sum over all the operation gamma r s dash t dash j. What is gamma r s dash t dash j? It is a character of the operator r in the s dash column and t dash row at the jth representation. Okay, into an operator r, and it is acting on a function phi ti. I'm going to next slide. This our function is like this, that is li divided by h sigma r gamma r s dash t dash j okay of complex conjugate, we can ignore that, into r cap, and this is acting on a function phi tj. Okay, and we get another function in the equation in the next slide. We get another function, which one? Phi sj. Okay, that is, we get another function phi sj. This is our result, last result, and that is, this is an operator. It's called a projection operator. It operator any arbitrary function. It's a single function or a linear combination. We get another function, okay, or a linear combination. Okay, another function or linear combination which has same symmetry as this operator. That is, this operator is having a symmetry of j. It is a jth representation. Okay, symmetry of the operator is j, and this operator having symmetry j operating on a function phi tj. Okay, then we get another function or a linear combination of function having the same symmetry, and it omit all other, it is phi ti, this function may contain many terms which not included in the same symmetry. By acting an operation, this projection operator on this function. Okay, the meaning of this equation is like this is an operator, projection operator. It is acting on any arbitrary function, and it projects out a new function that have same symmetry of this operator in which it operates. Okay, and all other part of the projection is omitted or it is excluded. Okay, that is read here. This is the operator Li divided by H sigma r gamma r s dash t dash j star r operate on arbitrary wave function phi tj. Okay, only that part of the function or some part of it. Okay, only that function or some part of it projects out and others will be abolished. Okay, this is the actually this function is called a complete projection operator. We are not going to use it. This is a complete projection operator. Okay, Li divided by H sigma r gamma, sorry, it is gamma r s dash t dash j r cap is the complete projection operator. We are not going to use this. We use only this operator, that is the p cap I is equal to Li divided by H sigma. For gamma we are using chi I, is character. We are using only the character because in our character table we are using only the character. We are not using the complete matrix. Therefore, we can write this complete symmetry, complete projection operator in a simpler form. That is p cap I is equal to Li divided by H sigma r chi I r cap. Okay, so chi I r is the character of the operator r multiplied by the operator, and this operate on other function and sum over all the operator. Okay, so this is our projection operator, that is p cap I, that is the operator having the symmetry I is equal to Li divided by H sigma chi I r cap. R cap is the operator, chi I r is the character of the operator. Okay, and sum over all the operators, and it is multiplied on any function phi ti. Okay, it projects out that part of the function which have the same symmetry as the operation is doing. Okay, clear? Okay, we can take an example. Demonstration of projection operator. Okay, we can demonstrate projection operator, how it works and what it means. Okay, let us take C2V point group. Okay, and a function f is equal to x square plus xz. We are taking a function x square plus xz. We are doing projection operator on this function. The projection operators that we can set up for this point group, for C2V point group, the symmetries are A1, A2, B1, B2. So P cap A1 is the one projection operator, P cap A2 is another projection operator, P cap B1 and P cap B2. And we know that X transforms as X by operation E, and by C2 operation X become minus X, on sigma V Xh X become X itself, and sigma V dash, that is sigma V dash YZ, X is equal to minus X. Okay, and the coordinate Z is unaffected by all these operation. Okay, that is when E, C2, sigma V and sigma V dash, okay, is done on Z, it will be unaffected. Okay, then first we are taking the projection operator P cap A1 acting on the function f. Okay, then our equation is this one. P cap A1 f is equal to, our equation is Li divided by H sigma r chi I r into r cap. Okay, here Li is 1. It is a A1 representation is here. It's a one dimensional representation, therefore 1 divided by H is equal to 4 in the case of C2V, H is the order of the group, into sigma of, that we are summing all the operations, sigma r, chi r, it is 1 here, so 1 into the operator r, operator is E, okay, acting on the function x square plus xh, okay, plus again chi r, again 1 is here, so 1 into, next operator is C2, so C2 acting on the function x square plus xh, plus again next character is again 1, then operator is sigma v acting on x square plus xz, plus 1 into, again 1 is here, into sigma v dash operator on x square plus xh. Okay, and that is equal to 1 by 4 into, during E operation x square and xz remain same, so x square plus xh, and 1 into C2 into x square. During C2 operation x become minus x, so x square is equal to x square itself, so it is again x square. And C2 acting on xz, x is become minus x, therefore C2 acting on xz become minus xz. Okay, next sigma v x become x itself. Okay, sigma v xz is actually sigma v xh, xz on acting on x, x become x itself, therefore x square is same here, and xz is also here. Again 1 into sigma v dash is yz, then x become minus x square is equal to x square, minus of xz is equal to minus xz. So this will cancel, xz minus xz, again xz minus xz. X square plus x square plus x square plus x, 4x square divided by 4 is equal to x square. Okay, that is the projection operator A1 having symmetry A1 acting on the function f, that is x square, f is equal to x square plus xh, then it projects out only the x square part. It omit xh because xz has no A1 symmetry. We can see here x square has symmetry of A1, but xz has no A1 symmetry. Therefore, by function, this function on the projection operator PA1, projection operator having the symmetry A1, acting on this function, it projects out only that part having the same symmetry. The other part is omitted. That is, there's only x square forms of the function, x square plus xz is projects out. Because that is x square belongs to symmetry species A1. X square belongs to A1. It is a simple function. Like that, any function or any atomic orbital by function we can take, and we can do the projection operator having a particular symmetry. Then we get, it projects out only that part of the function having the same symmetry. That is the usefulness of the projection operator. Actually, in direct method we have to find out which part of the function having the same symmetry in manually, but projection operator is a mechanical or automated equation. We can just pass the function through this operator, then we get only that part having the same symmetry. Okay, understand? And next PA to F. Okay, PA to F. Before that, okay, next operator is PA to F, that is projection operator having the symmetry A2 acting on the function f, that is f is equal to, our function is x square plus xh. Then again Li divided by h, our operator is Li divided by h sigma r chi r into operator r. Okay, then again here A2, the character of E is equal to 1 into E operating on the function x square plus xh. Next is again A2, it is 1, sorry, it is 1. Okay, so 1 into C2 operating on x square plus xz, plus next is minus 1 sigma v operating x square plus xh. Next is also minus 1 sigma v dash operating on x square plus xh. Okay, then it become 1 into E has no change, therefore x square plus xh. C2 x square is equal to x square itself, therefore it is plus x square. But xz become minus xz. Here also it is 1, so it is it is minus xz. Okay, next is minus 1 into sigma v x square. So it is minus x square into sigma v xz is sigma v has no change, therefore xz is xz, but there is a minus here, therefore it is minus xz. Okay, next is minus 1 into x square, so it is minus x square, minus 1 into sigma v dash on xz become minus xz, minus into minus become plus, it is plus. So x square plus x square minus x square minus x square, appo this all cancelled. Then xz minus xz cancelled, minus xz plus xz cancel, we get 0. That is, no part of the function is projected out of the operator PA2 since neither x square nor xz belongs to A2 species. Okay, because A2 you can see here, no x square or xz is present here, only xy is present here. Okay, so x square and xz has no A2 symmetry. Okay, so we cannot looking out the function. So for a simple function we can easily understand, but if it is a very large function, we can easily understand using projection operator which part of the function belongs to the same symmetry. Okay, and next is, okay, next P(B1)F, that is the projection operator having the symmetry B1 acting on the function f. Our function f is equal to x square plus xz. Then E into, so B1 here E is 1, E operating on x square plus xz. Then it is minus 1 into C2 into x square plus xz. Next is 1 into SE1 here, sigma v into x square plus xz. Next is minus 1 into sigma v dash x square plus xz. So 1 by 4 into 1 into E x square plus xz is equal to x square plus xz. Minus 1 into C2 into x square is equal to x square plus here minus 1 here, so minus x square. Xz, C2 xz become minus xz, minus into minus plus xz. Okay, sigma v x square xz is equal to xz, then it is x square plus xz. Then minus 1 into sigma v dash x square, so minus x square. Xz become minus xz, minus into minus plus. Okay, so x square minus s square cancelled. X square minus s square cancelled. Xz plus xz plus xz plus xz. 4xz divided by 4 is equal to xz. That is, P(B1) projects out only xz or xz belongs to B1 symmetry. We can see here B1, xz is belongs to B1 symmetry. Okay, and finally P(B2)F projection operator B2, P(B2) operator having symmetry B2 acting on the function f. Then again 1 by 4 into E into x square plus xz. Minus 1 is here, minus 1 into C2 into x square plus xz. Again minus 1 sigma v into x square plus xz, and last one sigma v dash into x square plus xz. And first E x square plus xz is equal to x square plus xz. C2 into x square is equal to x square into minus 1 is equal to minus x square. C2 into xz is equal to minus xz, minus into minus plus. Minus here, sigma v into x square is equal to x square into minus x square. Sigma v into xz is equal to xz into minus xz. Sigma v dash x square is equal to x square. Sigma v dash xz is equal to minus xz into 1 is equal to minus xz. Then again x square minus s square plus s square. Xz plus xz minus xz all cancel 0. That is, neither x square nor xz belongs to B2 symmetry. We can see here B2, no x square is, no xz is present here. Okay, it can be seen that projection operator Pi projects out only that part of the function having the symmetry I. Okay, and this is very important tool in the construction of symmetry adapted linear combination. If you are discussing molecular orbital theory and hybridization, we want a linear combination of atomic orbital. So arbitrary we take a function, okay, and it passes through our character table. We projects the wave function through our character table. Then we get the result having functions having the symmetry characteristics of the particular representations. Okay, it's a very easy tool, very easy mathematical tool to find out the symmetry adapted linear combination. That is, we want a symmetry adapted linear combination. So we take a function and it passes through our caret table, projects through our caret table using this projection operator. It projects only that part of the function having a particular symmetry of the representation. All other part of the function is omitted. Okay, it's very easy technique. We will use this while discussing about the molecular orbital theory. Okay, I think you may understand what I take today. If you are not good, not even understand what I am teaches today, please read the textbook very well and ask personally if you cannot follow the topic. Okay, thank you.